And now what I'm gonna do next is just add some extra animations to this character after this, right? And it's gonna be the same exactly that I did in the beginning of the tutorial. I'm just gonna add a modular control rig and add some animations on top of these ones. Then I'm going to bake them in again, and I'll just show you the results. I'm not gonna do that again, right? Alright, so my base animation is almost ready. I just have to mess with the timing a little bit because I'm not very satisfied yet. So let's take a look. So I guard, something hits me in the head, I look down, I pick something up, I look at it. So I'm gonna change the timing a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, again for like the third or fourth time, I'm going to bake this whole thing into an animation. But this time actually I'm not gonna do that. This time I'm going to bake this whole thing into a FK control rig, because I'm going to do some changes that are easier to do if I have a control rig, and I will show you why. So I'm gonna bake this into another animation like this. But really what I wanna do is bake this into a FK control rig. But the reason I don't do this directly from here is that I find that it messes up the bones sometimes, and I don't really understand why, but that's the reason, right? So right now I have created a new animation sequence that I'm going to put here is this intermediary 3 here. So there you go. This is my animation baked into the sequence. And now I'm going to do another bake, but this time I'm going to right click this, bake to control rig, FK control rig. And this animation is disabled now, and everything is baked into these bones, bone rotations basically. And the reason I have done this is because now I can do something that we can't really do when the animation is baked into a sequence, right? And it's this. So for example, here in this section there is way too much time before I start moving after the thing hits me, right? And I want this to be faster. And because this is baked into this FK control rig, every single frame is keyframed. So what I can do is this. Right here, I can select these frames and delete them. And right here is where the animation starts to move, right? So I'm just going to delete these keyframes right here. And then I can like select all of these and then kind of just drag them to the left like this. And this creates between these two keyframes, there's nothing, right? So what the engine does is it interpolates between them. So it creates like a smooth animation between them. The moment between my head is hit and my arms go down is much faster, see? That's kinda what I wanted to do. And now the only thing that's left to do is to add this object that just hit me in the face. So let's do that next. But before I do that, I don't want to work with these keyframes, so I'm going to, like for the fourth time, break this into an animation sequence. Then I can delete this FK, delete this animation, and add a new animation. Intermediary 4, this thing popped up for no reason. There we go, this is way better to work with. So I have this asset here, right, that I got from Fab, but it's not exactly how I need it, so I'm going to change it just a little bit. So right click this, do asset actions, export. I'm going to export this as an FBX. Temp is fine, sure. Okay, now I'm going to open Blender. There we go. Let's go to import FBX. I'm going to find my asset here. And ew, what is this? So I guess this might be the collision surface. Don't need to care about this. This is what I care about, right? And by the way, if I delete this collision mesh from here in Blender and then re-import the asset, it's not gonna just... The asset in Unreal Engine is still gonna keep it, so you don't have to be afraid that it's gonna disappear. So I'm going to edit this. Press 1 to select vertices. Let's see, is everything connected? No. So I can select this, all of these, and delete. And also select these, and there we go. So this is what I want, right? And now I'm going to save this, or actually export again, in the same place. And now I can go here and do a re-import with new file, select my grenade, it's in here, there we go. So if I open this now, It's the same asset exactly, except I have removed the pin from it. So there we go. This is what I want to use, right? And I will go back to my level sequence. So let's first grab this mesh and we'll drag it here to my sequencer. Let's set this transform right about here. Let's set the transform of this grenade to be right here. So let's see, where is it? Maybe it's a little small, so we can increase the scale a little bit. Alright, this looks good. So we'll create a keyframe for the scale, and then right here, yeah, exactly, seems great, right here. Now we'll go back a little bit and move this like right here, maybe a little closer like this. There we go. So I actually don't like this, that it's falling straight like this. I want it to fall along a curve, right? The way we're gonna do this is by adding here a camera rig rail. In fact, we're gonna add 2 of those. So I'm just gonna duplicate this one. I'll select the first one. Actually, I'll select the grenade first. I'm gonna copy this transform, and then we're gonna paste this in both rigs so I can actually see them over here. Let's hide the second one for now. We'll select the first one, we'll select these points and put them where we want them. So this point over here and this point's more or less where it is now. Okay, so I've moved those points, right? More or less where I want them. We also want this to be a curve, so we can rotate this like this and rotate this point like this and maybe a little steeper like this. Okay, this looks nice. This is basically what I want, for the grenade to follow this path, and then I want it to hit this and fall on the table, right? So now I'm going to get the second rig. I'm going to move this point over to this one and this one down here. And actually, one thing that I can do is select this one and click this point, right? And the location is already set for me, so I can just copy this, go to the other one, and then paste it. So now it's exactly in the same place. So it makes it a little easier. There we go. And now the last thing we have to do is to make this grenade follow these 2 paths. So we'll click here on path, select the first rail, make sure that it starts here and then it hits right about here. So let's drag this keyframe more or less where it needs to be, right there. And this one should be closer too, because I want this to be like a fast movement, right? Too slow, so drag it really close. There we go. Bonk. Perfect. And then after this keyframe here, in fact, we're gonna drag this all the way down here so that it doesn't keep affecting this grenade after this keyframe, right? So basically by dragging this, I'm making sure that the effect of this rail ends right here. And then I want the effect of the next one to apply. So I'm going to add another path to the second rail. It is going to start in this safe frame and then end like this. And I can drag this over here too. So now I can change this path from 0 to 1. Goes down like this. So let's check this. So it's going backwards. So in fact, I want this to go from 1 to 0. Like that. Again, I want it to be faster. Let's see from this angle. Okay, this looks pretty good. And then next I'm going to just add some rotation to the thing. Okay, now I have these objects following this path, right? Let me hide these because they are kind of in the way. So the object is doing this and then falling over here, right? But I want to rotate this also. But here's the problem, right? If I put my frame over here, I can go to the transform rotation for this grenade and do this, right? Make it rotate. But if I go here in the middle of the path, it doesn't work. I can't change this. Even if I set it over here, it doesn't follow. Like this grenade is following the rotation based on that path, right? So in order to fix this, I have to select this path and go to properties and untick this follow option here. And I'll do this for both. And now I can do this, right? I can set a rotation here, go to this end, set a rotation here, let's see, like this. And then go to the end here and do something like this, right? So now when I play this, you can see the rotation happening, right? Let's see from this angle. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that works. And now finally, this is the last part, I believe, which is the grab. So let's get to that. Right here in this frame, I want to attach the grenade to the hand. How do you do this? We're here at the frame where I want to attach this. Let's say right here, right? Or maybe just when the hand starts to go up, like this. So I'm gonna go one frame before this, and I'm going to create a keyframe for this grenade so it doesn't move right here. So it stays right there, right? And then right here, I'm going to move this in place where I want it to be. I kind of want to place it in between my fingers there, kind of like this. Maybe I'll rotate it a little bit. Okay, so this looks fine, right? Now I want to create a keyframe for this right here. Also, I want to go to the grenade here, click on track and do attach and preserve current. And if you read over there, preserve this object's transform in world space for first frame of attach. So this means when I attach to the hand, it's gonna stay right here. It's not gonna move away, right? So I'll do this and then I'll click this again and attach to my object. And I'll select my skeleton and this is the bone, right? And I want to select the thumb. So I'm going right thumb here. So R thumb 3. So this is the tip of the right thumb. So I'll click here and now it's attached. So if I let this play, it's moving with it, right? But it's not turning. So let's make it turn. When it ends right here, I'll just put this in the position that I want. Okay, so this looks okay. So let's see how this moves. Kind of looks like I'm turning the thing in my hand, right? So it looks fine, I think. The last frame looks a little weird. So we'll select this and drag them back one frame. Yep, this is fine, I think. And this is pretty much the whole animation, I believe. Let's take one last look. Alright, there we go. This is basically it. And then we just have to, make it go boom. So let's do that now. Alright, so I think the easiest way to do this is just to add a light. Let's grab this, copy the location, and going to find a light up here. Point light, drag it over here, and set the transform location right there. Did it work? Where is the light? Did not work. Try this, I guess. There we go. I don't know why sometimes this doesn't work, but there you go. Here's the light. So we'll drag it over here. It's very bright. All right, put it right on top of this. Set this keyframe. Maybe let's make the color like a yellow keyframe. And then let's see, I want this to right here. So let's set the intensity 0 here, and the next frame, let's just go to the maximum, I guess. I don't really like this color. Let's see. Yeah, this is better. Okay, there we go. Delete this keyframe. Perfect. So this is it. Now we can just play the animation and let's see how it looks. Whoa, come on, dude, stop. Ow, stop. Man, what are you doing, man? Ow, what the fuck? Well, that's it. Congratulations, you've reached the end. Yeah, this tutorial turned out to be quite long, but if you watched the whole thing, or even just a little bit, I hope it was useful to you in some way. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in the next one.